Hey, what is up, guys? It's Green Tank here, and today I am doing the COD for Dummies video. Today we're going to be doing COD for Dummies. Now, the reason I decided to do this was because obviously this is my first ever COD. Like, I've only ever played one COD, and that's this COD. So I decided, because I obviously do get good kill streaks, as you can see from the montages, I get good amount of kills. I've hit kills that like YouTubers are hitting like amounts. And my overall play style and learning of the game and like my fast evolution of my play style. So basically, if you didn't know, if you're completely new to COD but you want to get into it because of any YouTuber or my videos or whatever, COD is a game where you go into a if we're talking about multiplayer, you go into a game where there's around 6 to 10 people, depending on what game you play, and your mission or objective is to either catch flags, or in team deathmatch it's to get a certain amount of kills, or there's so many options as I can show you here. There is plenty of options. You've obviously got the core ones, which are just normal average players, and then I like to play on hardcore, which means you've got low health, friendly fire is enabled so you can kill teammates, and they say much more. But yeah, it's normally around 10 minutes, and it's a party of 1 to 6 people. And then these ones are obviously, so team deathmatch 1 to 6, 10 minutes. Kill players on the opposing team. The first team to reach the score limit wins. That is the one that you guys want to play positively. You're starting off in the game, team deathmatch is the one. Now, domination is capture and defend the designated positions to gain points. Now, this is like, so you have flags all around the map, and you have to go and capture them. The thing with this is, the match time is unlimited. So if you're someone like me who doesn't go for the objectives, you can have as much time as you can to get kills. Now, obviously, it depends on how your teammates are. So if your teammates are going for the flags and are absolutely dominating the other team, it's going to be over quicker than if everyone goes for kills. So that's where you want to get to if you want. This is the game mode you want to be if you want to get the high kills, the kill streaks, and a lot more that I will go into in a bit. Now, once you've done team deathmatch, because you're starting off and you've got comfortable with a self-made playstyle, then you want to move on to domination, as I've just said, and then you want to really reinforce how you want to play and how you like see people. Like, so basically, if you're running into a fight, you need to be able to analyze where people are almost instantly. Now, once you've done that and you've got comfortable in COD, you then want to move on to hardcore. Now, you can either do hardcore team deathmatch, which will be a ease in to hardcore, or you can put yourself straight into the deep end like I did and just go straight into domination on hardcore. Now, what this does is this enables you to be able to get killed insanely easy. Like, if you're using, say, my PP Bison loadout, you will get one-shotted. No matter how. So if I spray a clip into you, you will die on the first bullet impact, without a doubt, unless you maybe shoot like their foot or something. So even though it allows you to die easier, you can also kill people just as easy. So obviously, once you've learnt your playstyle, and then you go into domination, hardcore domination, then you will know and feel comfortable where people are, how to kill them, and you will be able to pop off on the high kill streaks, because literally people are going down in one bullet. So if you run into a spawn, which I will talk about after this, I like to call it. Actually, I don't know what to call it, to be honest. I made some names for it. Obviously, I'm not the first person to invent it, but I think I called it like spawn fucking, or I don't know. I called it something like that. Basically, it's where you're in a game, you know where they spawn, so you traverse around the map to basically penetrate their spawn without them even knowing you're there. Okay, so that's what I call spawn fucking. So if you can do that in a hardcore domination, that's like 5 or 6 kills, and they're all dying to one bullet, basically, as long as you actually hit the bullets. So yeah, that is why it is, like, so key that you, because people don't understand, you'll see people play these sort of ones, the core ones, and they will be good. They'll be actually, like, good players. They could probably do twice as well in hardcore, with the same skill level. So yeah, so let's actually move on to let's just, like, so I've taken you through the basics of COD, right? Now let's go to like the different play styles. Okay, so obviously you've got your weapons, and if you're like me and you're going for Damascus, like the road to Damascus, which is basically, so we have the FAL here. Actually, no. Let's do the PP Bison. So we have the PP Bison here. Now, if you go to customize camouflage, you've got your completionist. Sorry, I struggled to say that. Completionist camos. Now, what that means is these are camos. So gold you get for getting all of the camos on one weapon. So as you can see, 10 out of 10s on all of these. That unlocks the gold. Now, to get platinum, you need all of the weapons in that category with all the camos. So SMGs, you'd need all like 5 or 6 SMGs with all camos unlocked on them to get platinum. Now, to get Damascus, which is this one, you need all weapons in all categories with all camos. Now, to do that, you obviously need to unlock it in stages, and that is pretty self-explanatory, as I will just quickly show you. So the first one is kills, the fourth one is hip fire, and they will change depending on the weapon. Like hip fire is easy with an SMG and like ARs, whereas on a shotgun it might be like one-shot kills, and with snipers I know it's definitely one-shot kills and stuff like that, and so on and so on. So if you're going for that, I would suggest 120,000,000% doing it in hardcore domination, because it gives you the time to do specific things. So like long shot kills with like an SMG can be quite hard. So it allows you to pick which, not physically pick whatever map you want to play. You'd have to keep exiting and rejoining, exiting and rejoining. But you get to pick a map. Hardcore deathmatch is the way to do it. Now, if you want to get the kill streaks, I would say you'd probably want to go into something like hardcore, and then you want to actually play as my playstyle, okay? Whereas if you want to go for kills, I would still recommend hardcore deathmatch. However, I would actually say to take key elements from my playstyle, but actually add them and evolve them into your own so that you guys feel comfortable. Because obviously, the things I'm going to teach you are good, but only when you're comfortable doing them, okay? So, we're just going to hop straight into a game, and I will demonstrate my lessons. So guys, we're in a shipment, which is one of the perfect maps, by the way. If you want to learn how to infiltrate a spawn, or spawn fuck, as I like to say, then you definitely want to practice on shipment, which will be a long process of leaving quick play, playing quick play, leaving, playing, until you get shipment. So, I haven't had a lot of warm-up, but yeah, so off the bat, that's 2 kills. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 kills off the bat. 10, 11, 12. and I ran out of bullets. So that's straight up off the bat 12 kills. Now, so to do it, I will be teaching you where people spawn and how to know. So I've spawned in this corner, so you can guarantee that they will be over here in that. So you don't want to go directly proportional to them. You want to go the long way around. Now, I like taking this side because it gets me in without people knowing. So basically, it's all just a massive mind game of where they spawn and how to get there without them knowing. That's pretty much your aim. Now, obviously, you're gonna die a lot, but it's 100% worth it to actually infiltrate, because it does get you the amazing amount of kills. Now, it might only happen once in your first game, but if you can just consolidate it... Oh, I killed a teammate. If you can just... Oh, they killed me. If you can just consolidate it, then you're good. That's one. That's two. Get into their base. That's three. Four. And I didn't get any more. But you see how I know exactly where they're going to spawn. Because look, we're spawning on this side now. So we're going to be... they're going to be over here. Unless there's a teammate literally camping it. And then we switch again. So yeah, if your teammate is in there or another person pushes, your spawn is going to change. So you need to be learning when your team changes. Now that's by looking at the map and looking at your teammates' placement on the map. So yeah. And the other thing is I do a pre-fire quite a lot. So if you're going around a corner, you need to make sure you jump. Now, if you're crouching in a game, pass around corners, you're doing it wrong. Okay, if you're doing this, then it is going to get you kills, but it's not as effective as jumping. Because what jumping does is it gives you momentum, whereas look, crouching, you slow down. Whereas if you jump, it gives you the momentum to push yourself around the corner and then end up actually behind the enemies. So I'll try and show you as best as I can. If I jump around this corner, look, I ended up behind him instead of face on. Because if you're face on, you're if you're face on, they're going to see you before... well, it's basically 50-50 on who sees who first. Whereas if you end up behind them, they won't be able to see you coming. Except for that. But that again was pre-fire. If you end up in that position, 100% pre-fire. Now, it's a bit of a struggle to see where people are. Okay, they're on this side now. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Right. So, like, if you get shot on the left side of the map, I'd 100% say go for the left side again, because what they will do is they will switch. If they killed you left, they'll go right of the map. So if you push the left, then you'll get in behind them. It's sort of that. Obviously, it's not going to work every time, because you can't put people's actions down to, like, mathematics and, like, equations. But you can sort of use probability of people's actions to determine what they're going to do next. Now, obviously, people are getting taken out there here. But yeah, it's basically all just a big mind game of, ooh, don't kill him, of how to play, you know what I mean? Like just then, I'm just racking up the kills because I'm in their spawn and they don't even know it yet. And then I die. Because I got stuck on a teammate. But, like, it is self-explanatory. It's just sort of knowing what the right approach is. Because if I got told this on my first day of COD, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. So it is a learning process, and I will also be teaching you how to obviously do the jump around corners. Just because I really do want to consolidate what I'm trying to teach. Oh my god. Right, I was in their spawn, I didn't even know it. So yeah, that can sometimes happen. If you're in their spawn and you don't even know it, you're 100% not going to be able to pop off. You need to be in control of what you're doing. And you need to be able to analyze. So, oh, hello. So, if I jump around this corner, I'm analysing instantly. The minute I jump around this corner, I'm analysing where everyone is, and I'm picking my targets. Now, obviously, I don't always pick my targets, so sometimes it is luck. Obviously, like, if there's 3 people, right, one of them's looking at you, and 2 of them aren't, you're supposed to go for the one that is looking at you, and then go for the 2 that aren't. And then if one of the people who aren't looking at you turn around before the other, you go for them, and then the person who isn't looking at you. Or when they turn around, then you go for them. So it is like needing to learn how people move in COD, basically, and what your target is and why you're doing it. Sometimes your brain will work faster than your eyes. So when you see me aiming straight at a teammate, and then me sort of like still shooting but missing, it's because my brain has caught on that it is a teammate before my hands or eyes have. So I'll be spraying still, but I'll know not to hit them because it is my actual teammate. So it is just that case. And obviously when you are playing hardcore deathmatch, you really do want to be careful, because if you end up killing too many teammates, it hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a bit like CSGO, where if you kill your teammates, you can actually get kicked from the game. I think. Don't quote me on that. It would make sense, obviously. Otherwise, why would they tell you not to friendly fire? But yeah. Oh no. Yeah, it's just constant infiltration of their spawn. Like, that's what COD is, and the reason why it's such a fun game is because each encounter is gonna be different. They may all look the same, like in the montage, like 50% of my clips all look the same, but when you're actually playing, they're pretty much all different. Because you never know where somebody's going to come around from, what you're going to do to get each individual kill, and all around, so I just ran into a grenade, all around sickness, you know? So already in this game, I've penetrated like 5 bases. 5 bases? 5 spawns. Now, obviously, I'm not going to look at the kills. And honestly, just a personal advice, never look at your kills in the middle of a game. It will freak you out too much. Obviously, when I was looking at, when I was getting my high kill games, if I ever accidentally looked at my kills, and I realised I had like 90 kills, and I was like, right, I want to get to 110, I almost 100% of the time would never get to where I wanted to be, because I'd be thinking about being really insane and cracked. You know what I mean? So yeah, never look at your kills, you always wait till the end, which is why it's always such a struggle when I'm posting to Instagram about my my kills. Here we go. So I'd say like 90 kills, there you go. I was about to say, I'd say about 50 is like a solid amount for a game, and I've just dropped to 90 kills and got kill cam, look at that. And that really is how easy it is to play COD. You just have to learn how to do it. So, look at that, 54 kills. That was almost like a 2 KD almost. It was like 1.5 or something like that. Actually, no, it was a 2 KD roughly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into a game, and I'm gonna teach you how to do the jump around corners and how I analyze quite easily. Obviously, I won't be doing it in shipment. I will be doing it in a much slower, calmer environment. Well, calm. We're in a war, but I'll do it in a more easier environment to learn, and I will be doing the jumping tutorial. So we're going to a shoot house, and This is probably one of the best maps for it, only because it has a lot of corners. So obviously, to do the jump around corners, you need corners. So I'd say Shoot House is probably a good one to practice jumping around corners. Another one I would say is I'd say Rust is a good one for jumping around corners. I mean, I wouldn't say, no, not Piccadilly. I'd say I don't know. There's not really a lot for practicing. Obviously, you can do it in every map. It's just for, I'm thinking like more for practicing purposes. Because obviously, if you're in a map that has a lot of corners, then you're going to be doing it a lot more often and have time to practice. So I'd honestly say Shoot House is the one for practicing jumping around corners. Another one is maybe Crash, but I personally don't really like Crash. But so that's just up to you, to be honest. But regarding like personality on camera, a little bit of a like a side thing. Personally on camera, personality on camera. Obviously the first two videos were a little bit getting. Obviously I'd had the break, so it's like warming up to YouTube again. And then like obviously sorting everything out, like having to do an intro 2 times is, or no, 10 times. Sorry, it's very demotivating. And then this video is like more of a like a tutorial, so it's very serious. I do want to get my point across and with ease instead of just like joking around about everything. So yeah, jumping around corners. So like what you want to do is, I obviously can't teach you if you're on mouse and keyboard, I cannot teach you. I'm sorry, because basically I don't use mouse and keyboard, I use controller, and I wouldn't be able to give proper advice for mouse and keyboard if I don't use it. So I'm dying a lot, but I'm trying to just talk about it first. Okay, so we're just gonna stay here, we're just gonna chill. Okay, so to jump around corners, you need to sprint and then look and jump. Now if you just jump, oh bro, I'm trying to show something, please, can you just relax? So if you just jump forward, like this, you can see you don't really get a lot of the whole forward movement, whereas if I run and jump like that, can you see how I move so much further? And then obviously, like with the whole like enemy side of it, if I'm jumping around a corner and then I go to shoot, you see how I'm like basically around the corner, so I don't need to worry about like, you see that? Bang, I'm in. And I'm dead. But yeah, you get the general idea. There's not really a lot to show you about jumping around corners, because it's, I mean, you're jumping around a corner. Like, if you're jumping into a spawn and you are finding it hard to analyze, I would say first you need to learn the map. Obviously, you need to know the ins and outs of the map. So you need to know where they could possibly come from, and then act on that. So if there's somebody on this map right there, I need to be able to know that there could be someone there. So my eyes are like from me spawning, my eyes are drawn to these certain places. Just so I thought that there could be someone up there. You don't need to know that there's somebody up there, but you need to have an idea that they could be, so that when you're running past, you're watching them. Because if you're not looking where they could be, they're going to just be at that spot and actually kill you, if you know what I mean. I mean, it all does sound quite explanatory, but if somebody was saying this to me on my first day, I probably wouldn't get it. And even in my first like week or so, or even if I've played another COD before, because I don't know, I feel like every COD is a bit different, obviously, from watching videos and stuff. But like, I feel like this COD is definitely more advanced in a way. Yeah, you gotta realize where your spawn is. Another thing that helps in domination is seeing where obviously people are taking flags. So if I see that A's being taken and it's got a red thingy around it, like C has right now, even though it is being lost, if you hear the callouts made by the guy, then that then helps you to know where things are being taken. So if he says enemies on Bravo or Charlie or Alpha, you go to Alpha. And that's a good way to do it. Sometimes if you're a little bit late to a call out, I'd go to the complete opposite one. So if Alpha's been called out and you're like, oh, they're at Alpha, and then you start running over, but you're already like 10 seconds late to when that call out was made, chances are they've changed spawns. So if you run to C, you'll probably get there before they even start taking Charlie. So yeah, it's about knowing it's about knowing what situations you can get up to in COD, which is why I've made it such like I don't want to say I just killed my teammate, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't want to make it down to equations in this video. I sort of wanted to make it into like personal like thingy, but it is basically like that. Like that's the way I've learned personally. Like if you don't learn that way, then I don't really know what to suggest. You'll probably find a way to do it, but I can't give any tips for somebody who doesn't learn with equations and probability, because that's what COD is. It's the probability that somebody will be around that corner and the probability of you looking and not looking. Chances are you probably want to be looking. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like for like technical aspects of like how to get kills, because obviously that's all you really need. You just need to know where people are and have good accuracy. And accuracy, there's no tips to you. I can't give a tip to getting good accuracy. You need to just all that is just practice. Like I came into COD with quite good accuracy already, not as good as I am now, but I did come in with quite good accuracy, and they were down to games. Apex can help too, even though that is a little bit different. I'd say Apex is the closest one to COD for accuracy and stuff. I wish that when I was starting off in COD, somebody just gave me even 2 or 3 of these tips, because I was the guy, and everyone is really, who it goes sliding around the map. Like they go around a corner, they're like fucking this and that. One, it decreases your height, so you're gonna end up having to shoot up for a headshot. Whereas if you're jumping, their head is at your level technically. So yeah, I just think it's just so much better. And obviously with if you want kill streaks and good kills, if you do what I did in that game where I got 90 just then, because you've like taken in my tips, but you've also got, because obviously I run specialist because I get camos on weapons. If you're running kill streaks instead of just specialist, you can take what you've done with a gun and then get maybe like half the kills from like a VTOL jet and a wheelie and a cruise missile. Them 3, 100%. So I'm just going to show you this real quick. These kill streaks, 100%. Cruise missile, because I did have cluster strike on, but cruise missile is better because you can control where it goes. And cluster strike I was never getting kills with. I'd put it straight into their spawn, but by the time it comes in, they're already gone or switch spawns. Yeah, cruise missile. Wheelie, 100%, 110%. Wheelie is like one of the best things like ever. And as you can see, I've got 875 kills with it, so it's pretty OP. And then VTOL jet, like there's no question, like 1,000 kills with it. It's crap. So that would mean that you'd need 8 kills. You need 8 kills to get a VTOL jet, and I showed you getting 12 off spawn, and then 6, and then I think I got like 2 8s. So yeah, it is possible. So yeah, if you do that, you're gonna hit the high kill games. And the thing is, if you're putting in a VTOL jet in shipment in the middle of the map, where the whole map is basically the radius for the VTOL, and then you're not only are you wrecking them in spawn with the VTOL, but you're actually penetrating their spawn too, it's mad. It's mad. Like you will get insane kills. I've only done it like a few. I've done it quite a lot actually, where that happens, where you have the VTOL and you penetrate their spawn at the same time. It's insane. Like you're just racking up the kills. It's mad. It's mad. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you'd like to see anything to do with how to get Damascus, it won't be anywhere near now because I'm still trying to figure out how to get Damascus. I feel like if I'm going to make a video on how to get Damascus and some maybe tips and tricks that I've learned, I will have to at least have Damascus first. I feel like that's fair. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'm just going to leave you on this screen of my PP buys and loadout if you want to know, because it is the most OP gun in the game, and it's basically how I get all my kill streaks. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you'd like to see more COD videos, leave a like. It is important, okay? If you go to the corner of the video with the white circle with the eye, there will be my 2 COD montages, and there'll be a poll. Now, I put a poll in the last video, but I only did it afterwards. I've never done a poll before. It's a good way to interact with you guys without asking for comments, because comments, I feel, should be a place for people to put nice things like they have been. So thank you to everyone who comments nice things on my videos. And then polls are more for like if I ask you guys, should I do this or this, I feel like I should put it in a poll because it's a little more better. But either way, there will be a poll of some sort in the corner. So yeah, check that out. If you want to check out here, I've got my here tryhards playlist. Here was my last video. Go check it out. And then here is my channel. So subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.